Today on General Hospital, Charlotte and Danny move forward with their plan to save Danny. Britt leers who is responsible for Rocco's beating, and Drew invites Willow's family to a Thanksgiving they won't want to miss. Michael stops by the hospital for another follow-up for his burns, and learns from Liz that Willow is on administrative leave until her trial. Liz also informs him that Willow moved out and back in with Drew. Michael calls this another of Willow's bad decisions, and Drew likely pitched her moving in with him to make a statement to the jury. Liz suggests Michael could get Willow away from Drew by giving her access to her kids. Michael refuses, saying Willow has had several chances to make the right decision and never does. He knows it sounds harsh, but this is about protecting the kids from Willow and Drew. His kids deserve a better mother than one on trial for attempted murder. Willow arrives at Drew's with her suitcase, and Drew hobbles out on his cane and asks how it feels being home. She feels their beautiful home has been tainted, and asks how he can live here. He claims that thinking of her and what she means to him helps him, but if she has bad memories here, he can buy them a new home. Willow admits she's just overwhelmed by everything. Drew asks if she's having second thoughts about being with him. She says she wants a future with him, but she fears she will be found guilty as Michael and his father control this town. Drew has faith she'll be found innocent. Drew waxes on and on about how much he loves her and her kids before getting down on one knee and asking Willow to marry him. He believes having him standing beside her in court as her husband will make a statement. Willow cries every time she's been married before. It's been out of necessity because of some circumstance, and the next time she gets married, she wants it to be for the right reasons. Drew says it will be for the right reason, unless she no longer loves him. Nina, sporting a shorter hairdo, meets with Albrecht at the Port Charles Grill. Albrecht asks her niece to write a positive piece in Crimson about Rocco and this miscarriage of justice, but Nina believes Lulu is in a better position to do so. Nina cries that Rocco has a village protecting him, while Willow has no one but Drew. Nina says she just found out Willow moved back to Drew. Albrecht brings up Nina's alibi, making things worse for her daughter, and tells Nina that her compulsion to make up for lost time and protect Willow only makes things worse. Points for Albrecht on that one. Nina admits she did something to try to save Willow, and she regrets it. Albrecht asks, "You shot Drew for her, didn't you?" Nina insists she didn't shoot Drew, but she did throw Portia under the bus as a suspect the police weren't even considering. Albrecht snarks, "I don't know what's more dangerous, being your friend or relative." More points for another on-point observation. Nina frets that she can't afford to lose Portia as a friend, not in this town. Alexis, Jason, and Danny arrive at Lulu's to rehearse what the kids will tell the police about the lab incident. Laura answers the door, says Lulu is picking Charlotte up at school, and invites them in. Outside, Lulu and Charlotte arrive, but Nathan stops them from going into their house. Nathan tells Lulu she can't stay. Charlotte heads inside, where everyone is, and explains that her mom is outside talking to Nathan. Outside, Nathan tells Lulu that Rocco needs her right now. Back inside, Charlotte and Danny recount what happened to Alexis, Jason, and Laura. However, Danny adds in Charlotte's bright idea and claims Dalton punched Rocco. Alexis asks why this wasn't mentioned before. Charlotte and Danny assume Rocco was embarrassed, and if they brought it up, they feared Dalton would make up even more lies. The adults clearly don't believe them, and Jason warns them that if they are caught in any lies by the cops, this will blow up, and it won't be good for anyone. Charlotte insists it is the truth. Alexis then suggests that Laura and Jason step outside with her. Britt visits the beaten Rocco in Juvie, sees his face, and demands a guard bring her a first aid kit. Rocco feels bad for breaking her trust and stealing her key fob. She doesn't care about that and asks who beat him. Rocco explains that it was another kid, and his grandpa Sonny is taking care of it. Britt fears Sonny will only make things worse, which is why she has to get him out of here. Britt has to leave, but warns the guard not to let this kid even get as much as a hangnail. The guard asks Rocco if that was his mom. He says, "Yeah, no, just someone close to me." Later, Nathan brings Lulu to see Rocco, and Lulu is obviously concerned about what happened. Nathan fears Rocco was targeted because of who he's connected to, and the longer he's here, the worse it will get. Nathan informs a guard that he's taking Rocco into his custody and back to the PPPD. Sonny shows up at the PPPD to speak with Justine and, in the interrogation room, demands Rocco's immediate release. Sonny says Rocco's been assaulted, which Justine is sorry about. Sonny says they both know Dalton framed Rocco. So what is the hold-up? Justine admits it seems that Dalton is missing. Justine tells Sonny that the evidence suggests Dalton made a false police report, which is why she thinks he skipped town. This, with Rocco at risk, can give them grounds to push for an immediate bail hearing, which she hopes will be justice enough for him. Later, Nathan and Lulu bring Rocco into the station, and Rocco and Sonny sit in an interrogation room together. Lulu tells Nathan she can't thank him enough, and he's amazing, but did he just risk his job for her and Rocco? A better question: are they really setting up a Lulu-Nathan romance storyline just for Maxie to return? Ava stops by Windermere to see Sidwell and talk about art, but he's not in the mood today. He's not taking Measure C's defeat well. They make small talk about Sonny, and Rocco's name comes up with his having been arrested. Sidwell says he's been following that story closely. Eventually, Ava and Sidwell set a date for him to come by the gallery. That's when Britt arrives to speak to Sidwell. Sidwell apologizes to Ava for the irritating interruption, but Ava understands and heads out. Alone, Sidwell lashes out at Britt for overstepping, getting sloppy, and he doubts she wants to end up like Dalton. Britt reminds him she's the only one who can complete her father's work, but she needs him too. She asks him to help her get Rocco out. Sidwell asks sarcastically, "Did something happen to dear Rocco?" Back at the Port Charles Grill, Ava joins Nina and Albrecht. She rants to them about Britt interrupting her meeting with Sidwell. Albrecht suggests Britt went to Jens for help with Rocco. Ava admits Jens is a powerful man. At Windermere, Britt tells Rocco was assaulted and he shouldn't be in Juvie. Sidwell disagrees and sees this as punishment for Sonny and Laura's failure to cooperate with him. Britt is shocked when she realizes Sidwell is the one who had Rocco attacked. Sidwell taunts her that he has eyes and ears everywhere, and to remember that. At the station, Justine appears and is furious that Nathan pulled Rocco out of Juvie. Nathan says it was for her benefit too, as she wouldn't want it known that the kids she prosecutes are victims of violence. She warns him not to do anything like this again. Justine goes in to tell Rocco the good news. She got the bail hearing pushed up, and Rocco should be in his own bed by tonight. Outside of Lulu's, Alexis, Jason, and Laura agree that the kids are lying, and they can't let them go through with this. Alexis heads back in alone and says they all know they are lying, and it could land them both in trouble. Meanwhile, Laura tells Jason she understands what Charlotte and Danny are trying to do, but fortunately, they won't have to go to court because Dalton is. Jason says, Dalton is nowhere. At the Port Charles Grill, Drew interrupts Nina, Albrecht and Ava and invites them all to his place for a Thanksgiving celebration. He teases that dessert will be spectacular. It's bad enough Drew and Willow are back for the holidays, but now, it seems they are getting married on Thanksgiving. May the Quartermain curse befall them. Finally, Willow arrives at the hospital and invites Liz to her and Drew's house for Thanksgiving, and to be her maid of honor. Michael listens from around the corner as Willow says Drew proposed and she said yes. Liz accepts her invitation. On the next General Hospital, Drew gloats that he always gets what he wants, and Aunt Stella is on the attack.